I'm meteorologist Bruce Jones with Midland Radio Corporation. I'm in Columbia, Missouri at the Boone County Preparedness Fair, September 11th, 2021, and I'm here with Karen Mchugh, and she's a floodplain specialist from the state of Missouri, and we're going to talk about flooding. And Karen, I got to tell you, I was a high school student in Rapid City, South Dakota when they had the big flood that killed 238 people. So flooding to me is very important.
Very personal.
And same with you, I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about flooding, and Karen's actually going to demonstrate how flooding works. You have sponges in here that represent open land.
The wetlands, grass.
And wetlands. One of the issues we're dealing with in the weather world now is as our cities grow and they get rid of the open land and put in more subdivisions.
That's right.
How does that change things?
Well, the grassy area is pervious surface. When it rains, the water soaks into the grass, and then when the grass becomes saturated, then it just naturally flows down the creek, down to usually the creeks are a tributary of some kind, down to, let's say, the Missouri River. Okay,
so let's demonstrate how having some open land actually helps mitigate some of the flooding.
Very good, yes. So this is a what we call a toad strangler. It's when the skies open up and it rains fast and it rains hard, and we've had several of those this year, actually, in the state of Missouri. So this is how things work naturally. When it begins to rain, you'll notice that the water is soaking into the sponges, which represents the grass, and then it just naturally, once it's saturated, it naturally goes down Walker's Creek.
And this is your stream flow indicator?
Yes, and we have one here.
And this is good?
This is good.
Everything's good.
This is the way nature intended.
Okay, so this is nature, and then we come in.
Yes.
Humanity comes in, and what do? We get rid of that, right?
Okay,
we build over that.
Right. So you'll notice there's several houses here. And usually where there's houses, they want convenience.
Yeah.
And so these folks that live in these houses, they've asked the developer to come in and build a shopping center, so they have someplace convenient where they can shop.
So now we have a shopping center
coming in. So now we're
in.
taking out our pervious surface.
That was probably farmland at one time, right? We were growing soybeans and corn there.
Exactly.
Now we have a shopping mall.
Right. And now we have a parking lot. And this is impervious surface. So when it rains, the water hits the surface and very quickly, very fastly, it moves down to the downstream, down to Walker's Creek, and you'll see the difference.
All right. So again, what we did, we took out the open farmland, let's call it, the open space in a growing city. And as the cities grow larger, more and more of it's covered up with asphalt. And let's see what happens when we get another toad strangler.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Bruce. All right, here we go. Same rain event. Water's going to hit that cement, and you'll see that we're having right now what we would call a flooding event. And there's a few houses that have washed away. I don't know if you noticed during the Tennessee flood, a house going down the
whole house.
The whole house.
Yep.
And that's what happens.
All right. So if I were living down in here, then should I have flood insurance?
Yes, definitely. We suggest that anyone that lives anywhere in a community that participates in the National Flood Insurance Program, that they buy flood insurance. Even if you're in, this is what we call the low risk area.
Up here?
Yes, the floodplain is divided into three different things. Low risk, moderate risk, and then the high risk area.
And that's the 3 steps down.
Yes.
Low, moderate, high risk.
Yes.
So these people should definitely have flood insurance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these probably as well.
Yes.
But what we're seeing is more and more events now, these 100-year floods, these 500-year floods, 1,000. So should these people have flood insurance?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. The statistics say that from 2015 to 2019, 40% of the policies were from low risk areas.
Okay.
So we say wherever it can rain, it can also flood.
What happens if I'm living down here and I don't have flood insurance and you get one of those floods that we just created?
Well, that's a good question. So if it's a bad enough event and there's enough damage, there might be a presidential declaration. And if there's a presidential declaration, then those people that don't have flood insurance can probably take out an SBA loan if they qualify but that's a loan that has to be paid back. So the best way to protect yourself from flooding is to have flood insurance.
So if I don't have flood insurance and I lose my house, the best I can get is a small business association loan, and then I have to pay that back.
Yes, sir.
If I had the flood insurance, I would get a payment to replace my home.
Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I know which one of these zones I'm in? Does the county have that information available to me, the state?
The local floodplain administrator will have copies of the flood insurance rate maps.
Okay.
Those can also be found online at msc.fema.gov, and the MSC is for Map Service Center.
Okay.
You can go there, plug in your address, and the map pulls right up, and you can look and see what kind of floodplain you're in.
Would be a smart thing to do,
Yes,
don't you
it
think?
would.
All right.
Excellent idea.
Well, September is National Preparedness Month, and we
it is.
try to encourage people to think ahead of time because you don't
Yep.
want to be in this situation.
Absolutely.
And learning after the fact that, gosh, I could have had the flood
Yes,
insurance.
that's right.
All right. Well,
Very
Karen,
good.
thank you for
Thank
the
you, Bruce.
demonstration.
Yes,
Very,
you're
very
welcome.
well done.
Yes.
And a reminder that it's incumbent upon you to be prepared for disasters. Make sure as the head of your household that you're looking out for everyone in the household and the home itself by getting flood insurance. So check into that website, and good luck to you. Thanks for watching.